feel more complete as a human being since doing stand-up. That sounded deep. I must preface that.
Though.
I preface that by saying I think it's helped my self-acceptance more. And it's also helped me make sense of being a weirdo.
Yeah.
And being a weird and owning the weird and going, I can make money out of this.
Yeah.
Because I do it in my art and I do it in what I make, because I never make, I'm self-employed because I like to make what I want to make. I don't want to dance to anyone else's tune, right? There you go. I've always danced to the beat of my own drum my whole life. And being self-employed allows you to make what you want. And if you sell it, you sell it. If you don't, you don't. And I don't really care. As long as I can make enough money to not be broke, I'm cool with that. I don't need to make more money. Like, I won't make things that are commercially successful just because that will make money. Money in itself has never been enough of a motivation. Like, I like money. I like spending money. I mean, who doesn't? But I won't make 101 thing just because they'll sell. I'd rather make 5 of that, 1 of that will never sell, because I want to make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so comedy in that way is the same. I want to make my jokes. Some will land, some won't. But I enjoy the process of telling the crap jokes as well as the good jokes.
Yeah,
totally. You know, and so that's the same thing. So it's like making money out your own eccentricity and strangeness. It like feels good, because then you think, it's not just you being a weirdo. It's just not, you're not just that kid anymore that's sitting in class wondering why you're not invited to the party, you know. I've struggled with that my whole life. You know, why don't I get invited to the party that I don't want to bloody go to? Do you know what I mean? Now I'm like, I don't want to go to the party. I don't get invited to the party, and that's good, because I'd never go to the bloody party. So now it makes more sense. So it helps me accept myself better and accept that you can be as goddamn strange as you like, and there's a place for it in the world if you can figure out a way to make sense of it.
Yeah.
But I do worry about kids that are young and in school and who don't understand that some way down the line they'll figure out what they can do with that, you know, and they'll not just be that strange, weird wee kid that's bullied and picked on and their life's a misery. You know, they can't see that there'll come a point where that weirdness will work for you. And it feels really good for the 50-year-old me to think about the 10-year-old me and think, all that time that's passed. I said 50. I'm 56. Who are you kidding? But I think about that and I think, yeah, I owe it to the struggle of the younger me to make it work now. So when I'm on stage and I'm, you know, making people laugh under my control, under my spell, I think it's been a long time coming to make that part of me make sense and to make me feel better about me, for me. And other people will enjoy it in the process, and that's fantastic. Yeah. But the number one reason I do it is for me. You know, the side effect of that is that it makes people laugh, and that's lovely. You know, it's a lovely side effect. But I just wish there was more inclusive things for kids that are weird. You know, no, they don't fit in and don't find their place in the world. And I wish there was programs for them to help them see that there are career paths for weirdos.
Absolutely.
And the things that you think might make you weird one day will be what make you fantastic and undeniable. And that's what I love about it. So
Oofed. That was a delicious, delicious little statement there. That's wicked. That is exactly what it's all about. Well, absolutely.
It's good to come to a point in your life where you can make sense of the traumas and the hardships and say that there's some good of it,
Yeah.
and the good of it's been down to you. It's not been down to anyone else, It's not been, nobody's, tried to bolster you up or help you along the way. You made it because you've made it because you've been true to yourself, whatever that's like.
Beautiful. All right. That's the best. I'm so excited to share this with people. So there's only a couple of things that I want to go over next. So the first thing is just what do you have any advice for someone who's just trying to get in touch with their creativity, or maybe like even if it's in part of the arts that you do, if there's a drawing exercise or something?
A sketchbook. I've done self-portraits. My best advice to anyone who loves to draw is self-portraits are the way to learn to draw, right? Like ultimately you will learn more about drawing from self-portraits than drawing anything else, because they're the hardest thing to do. I've done them since I was about 10, and I have a collection of self-portraits through my whole life, and I've kept them all.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And I always believed that they were the best way to keep in touch with your inner self and the physical growth of learning to draw and observe, because even though you draw the same thing each time, it's always different and your perception's different. And I went to the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, and they had this beautiful exhibition of little A5 self-portraits Van Gogh had done all through his life. And they were all the same format, they were all the same size wee boards, and they had them in this huge big line, maybe about 20 or 30 of them. And you could see where his mental health slipped in and out, his lucidity was there, he was gone. It was the most heart-rendering, beautiful, and it was like an epiphany for me to look at that, because that's what I'd always believed was important. And they were important for Van Gogh. Like, no matter where he was in his life, he'd do a self-portrait. And I've always done them. And so they've been my, compass point. So if you're stuck and you've got nothing, you've got a mirror, you got a pencil, you got a bit of paper, you can always do it. You can do them anywhere. They're not for everyone to look at and go, oh, you're great at drawing, forget about that. Keep them for yourself. They're a private thing. They're an exercise. Sketchbooks, keep a sketchbook, draw, even, try and structure it. If you struggle to draw or struggle to make, get a journal, even if you're writing in it, even if you're pulling things out in papers and sticking them on and adding things, doing collage. If that's your jam, do that. Stick in pictures, write about them. There has to be something that goes from your head on a surface, and that's a really great way. I have a MacBook Pro and not MacBook Pro, iPad Pro that I like to draw on as well. They're a nice thing to do as well, but it's not quite the same, I don't think, as making the physical marks.
Yeah.
Pencils are lovely. Sharpen some pencils. Sometimes when I'm just like, can't think anything to do, I'll sharpen a pencil because it's kind of nice. And then I'll just paint, I'll get my watercolours out and I'll put a big blob of water on and I'll just drop paint on it, and I think that's nice. Just make a connection with something. It doesn't all need to work out. Your sketchbook shouldn't be all beautiful pictures. Half of it should just be raw.
Yeah.
But I've got sketchbooks that I've had since I was 10, and I look at them now and I think it is so nice to look back on your life, see that because you go back to that point in time. So totally. Sketchbooks great and self-portraits are great.
That's brilliant advice. I love that. That's really actionable.